Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the true size of a Space Marine chapter, part 2, 3D documentary by Invicta. Yes guys, we checked out the last part, part 1 I guess, about, what was it, a week ago now at this point, and it basically covered all of the junior companies of a Space Marine, a Codex compliant Space Marine chapter. In this case, I think we were taking a look at the Ultramarines, which was awesome to see. I never really visualized the full-on scale of a Codex compliant Space Marine chapter, and obviously to think too that a lot of chapters at this point are not Codex compliant just because of the logistics behind being Codex compliant, of course. It's really interesting to see it broke down in such a way. The animation's great, the quality on these videos is fantastic, so I didn't want to wait too long on this one. This is going to be the more veteranized companies, I believe, of the Ultramarines in this case. I think yeah, 5th company, so I think we saw up to company 6, the 6th company last time on part 1, so we're probably going to be picking up right off from there if I had to assume. So yeah, of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, of course leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course leave your recommendations down in the comments below. Big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati and our Principes, Dagenhart, Fear, and Hobbit. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And with that, guys, so we get right into this video. Captions on, quality is good, full screen, let's get it.
In part 1 of this series, we covered the junior half of a Codex compliant Space Marine chapter from the period of the 41st millennium. Now we shall advance our studies to
10
their
to 6
veteran battle brothers who make up the senior elements of the 5th through 1st companies. In doing so, we will gain a better appreciation for their true capabilities in war.
These are the big boys as
From
far as the
ability of a single
chapter is
Marine
concerned.
to bolster the morale of a faltering colonial defense force.
Again, the quality and animation on these
To
is
the ability
fantastic.
of a well-equipped strike force
Do a
to
great
eliminate
job on
threats
this.
across the galaxy. Or to join with larger Imperial forces for full-on campaigns.
It's a sick back shot there.
This is the true size
Wow.
of the Ultramarine chapter in action.
Look at the fleet staff and shit there too. You don't visualize all that. It's hard to visualize all that normally.
So I hope you guys are enjoying this content as much as I have been. It turns out the True Size series and 40K is just a match made in heaven. It's got an art production team, super excited. They're already working on some future episodes. So by detailing, the inside of Space Marine vehicles.
That looks awesome.
By doing some art for the Tyranids, WAS, thinking about doing Titans. It's all going to be really, really fun. So we have 40K on the mind, and I've got 40K in the pocket because I've been playing a lot of Warhammer 40K Tacticus, which is today's sponsor. Now I've actually
sponsored by Tacticus. Goddamn.
I really enjoy it, and I actually reached out to them. It turns out that the team at Snowprint Studios is actually a fan of ours. They're viewers, and so it was a really nice collaboration, and they're willing to support us. Now, as for the game itself, it stands out for 2 major reasons. 1, it's fun. 2, it's fair. So let's get into these.
Awesome.
For fun, it's because this is a really open, crunchy, tactical battle. The way it plays out is you essentially have a hex-based battlefield where you deploy your troops against a range of enemy forces. The battlefield is very dynamic. Line of sight matters, character movement matters, range of weapons matters,
very strategic, it looks
the type
like.
of terrain matters. It's all really important, and it makes for really great replayability. In addition, they have really good level design. So for instance, one of my favorite ones I've played recently is Chaos charging at Imperials, where the enemy has 2 major abilities: call in artillery, call in reinforcements, and it makes for a gameplay where you're basically under the gun, charging, trying to clear out the Imperials before you get swamped by shells and men. So I think that's really fun. Zooming out, the way this plays out is basically you start off with a small cadre of characters playing in one campaign. You slowly unlock different characters from different factions, which then allows you to play in different campaigns.
Oh, so there's a lot to it too.
You slowly expand to get a bigger and bigger roster of character, more and more campaigns.
Looks very in-depth for a mobile game, I have to say.
A really fun gameplay loop that expanded and kept itself fresh.
Yeah.
Now, as to the second point why I like Tacticus is because it's fair. I felt that the pacing of all this was really natural, and it wasn't asking me to pay to unlock these different tiers. I could progress at a rate that I felt was
I will say that's the breaker for me on a lot of mobile games personally. It's the in-your-face marketing of it. You know what I'm saying? It might be a free-to-play game, but it's if you got an ad popping up every 30 seconds in your face telling you like, hey, you should have this paid feature, it'll go a lot better for you. I don't know, that's kind of where I draw the line. So as long as, you know, they're not doing that, that seems like a very interesting game, very fun. It looks like a lot to it for a mobile game.
Asking me to pay to unlock these different tiers,
That's
I could
good.
progress at a rate that I felt was achievable without having to put any money down. In addition to that, it felt like most mobile games have you on a timer where you run out of energy before you can play your fill. That is not the case in this game. You can easily pivot to one of your other campaigns, or you can go into the plethora of other battles that they have available to you. You have guild battles, for instance. You have these.
There's always something to do. It's not just like
wave-based onslaught battles.
That's interesting too. There's always something to do versus like you play the game for like, you know, an hour or half an hour, whatever have you. You run out of like your energy, quote unquote, and then there's nothing for you to do. After that, you have to wait like real time for like your stuff to recharge. It's nice that there's always like something going on, you know, something for you to do, something that you can always keep playing on the game. That's nice.
Battles, for instance, you have these scavenger battles, you have these wave-based onslaught
unrelated
battles,
I know, but I'm interested now.
And monthly special events, so there's always something to do. So if this sounds interesting,
animation looks good on it too, I will say.
Go in the description, click the link there, and once you're in the game, use the code Invicta23 to get some really awesome goodies. But act quickly because it expires on January 7th, 2024.
Man.
So enjoy, and I'll see you in the.
Well, I was gonna say go use code Invicta23 if you guys want to play some Tacticus, but unfortunately, that code definitely already expired by now, unfortunately. But looks like a very interesting game. Regardless, go check it out. I don't know if he's got a new code or a recent code or something like that, but yeah, go check out. Check it out on Invicta's behalf. Yeah.
Because it expires on January 7th, 2024. So enjoy, and I'll see you in the rest of the video.
By the dictates of the Codex Hastatis, the Space Marine chapter of the Second Founding is composed of 10 companies, each with roughly 10 squads of 10 Marines, for a total of approximately 1,000 warriors. New recruits wishing to join their ranks must first pass through the 10th Scout Company, where they will be introduced to the basic arsenal and operations of the Space Marines. In the 9th, they master the art of the defense among the Devastator squads, and in the 8th, they master the art of offense among the assault squads. These skills are then brought into balance among the tactical squads of the 7th and 6th companies. Only having proven themselves,
very interesting how like each Marine has to move up
onto
through the ranks
of the battle companies.
They have to move up in each company, kind of thing.
Such units typically act as the chapter's primary frontline force, which will be actively deployed among the various war zones of the Imperium. As a result, the battle companies are organized with a mixed force of squads and vehicles to meet the needs of a given campaign, whilst calling upon the reserve companies for replacements or reinforcements as needed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For a better understanding of their role, let's now take a...
Like, I assume, like, you know, especially given, like, the nature of 40K and, like, you know, just how, like, brutal the world is, the universe is, I imagine, like, 90-day wonders, like, battlefield promotions probably occur all the fucking time, like, realistically speaking, right? Because, like, you know, you might lose, you know, your section leader, whatever have you, right? And now suddenly someone's got to, you know, refill his shoes. Okay, he's refilled temporarily, but now you have to bring in members from like these reserve companies, right, to also go and like assist, right? You know, I imagine 90-day wonders are probably all throughout, you know, and the term 90-day wonder, of course, it's like it's a World War II term, essentially. It's like the case of like, you know, you're a sergeant to like lieutenant to like a captain to a major, you know, eventually in 90 days, just because of the casualty rate that is sustained, of course, you know.
As needed. For a better understanding of their role, let's now take a closer look at some examples from the Ultramarine chapter. Here is the assembled might of the 5th Company, the Wardens of the Eastern Fringe, who are led by Captain
kind of a badass name. Kato.
Its makeup is typical of the battle companies, featuring 6 tactical squads, 2 Devastator squads, and 2 assault squads.
Largely
as
tactical.
Their name implies, the Warden...
I will say, maybe I'm wrong, but it does seem like tactical Marines do seem to dominate the battle space by large and far. It's not hard to see why either. They really just are like your jack of all trade, like, Marine, essentially. They really can do it all, you know, all things considered.
Squads. As their name implies, the Wardens of the Eastern Fringe are
not the
among
best
most
at any
far-traveling
one
of
thing,
their
but they
brethren,
can just do it
being
all.
deployed for years or decades away from Ultramar on various campaigns. It is on these missions that a Marine will learn to fight alongside a wide variety of Imperial forces and run the gauntlet of mankind's most bitter enemies.
Like how Ogren are there.
In addition
That's
to
awesome.
providing crucial training, these distant crusades also serve an important strategic and propagandic role for the chapter.
Oh, yes.
Strategically,
Definitely.
the 5th provides an important tool of force projection. Often referred to as the Gladius Strike Force template, their operations will see them break out into smaller groups to parry incoming attacks and deal quick, efficient blows capable of neutralizing foes many times their size. In terms of propaganda, the distant nature of these campaigns also serves to inspire the realms of the Imperium with a reminder that no planet is beyond the reach of the Emperor's
Oh, yes.
angels.
Yeah, you better not fucking forget who you pay your
Even the
taxes to,
presence of a
motherfuckers.
single Marine may be
Literally.
enough to shore up the morale of an entire colonial defense force, as
That
is
too.
evidenced by the following record of the Guardsmen. Quote,
Oh, it's just
"I've
inspiring as
seen
all
a thing
hell.
today which I knew only from the storybooks of my childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Legend,
mighty,
literally.
and so broad and so bold that it might have been a statue on the colonnade of the Emperor come to life.
Wow.
Its armor glowed like the moon, gunmetal bright, and it smelled of sweet oils and sacred lotions. In its
Sacred
fist,
lotions,
5
oh.
times the size of my fist, it clenched a spear twice the length of my body. I
Wow.
think we will live if these gods are with us."
Wow.
In keeping with the
But that just goes to show like the absolute like morale effect that like, you know, not even fighting, but just presence wise that a single Space Marine can inspire. Because like you see one of these guys and like fuck, as a regular guardsman, you have to just feel emboldened. You know what I mean? Like we have these tanks fighting alongside us, quite literally, these human tanks walking alongside us, fighting alongside us, you know, giving us these speeches, these award-winning speeches, literally, you know. How could we fail? How could we lose? You know, and obviously a lot of the times they still do, but from a guardsman perspective, like this is like peak human right here. It's like if we are fielding these on the battlefield, man, you know, the enemies of the Emperor have to fucking shake. They have to be fearful, right? If these Marines are present, like that's how like I imagine the effect would be on the average guard. Goddamn,
if these
how
gods are
inspiring
with
that would
us.
be. Yeah.
In keeping with the strike force nature of the 5th Company, it may bring with it a larger vehicle pool capable of extended deployment, with supporting starships for transportation and orbital strikes.
That makes sense.
Next comes the 4th Company, known to the Ultramarines as the Defenders of Ultramar. They are led by
Quite
the
the title.
recently promoted Captain Uriel Ventress
Uriel.
and are composed of the
Feel like
same
I've heard that
squad
name.
mix as the 5th Company.
Okay.
But whereas their brethren may see active deployment at the far reaches of the galaxy, the Defenders of Ultramar remain embroiled on the front lines closer to home.
That makes sense.
While the 4th has been known to protect its borders with glorious offensives, many of their forces take
Best offense is the best defense is a good offense, baby. I always say that all the time. And yeah, again, defending, quote unquote, like a defense could just as easily mean attacking your enemy when they're weak. You know what I'm saying? When they can't fight back, when they can't organize a resistance against you or organize a assault upon your worlds, right? The best defense is always a good offense. I always say that all the time. But it does make sense to have like a company, a battle-ready company, always in your home territory, able to react to any new threats that could appear, right? That makes complete sense.
has been known to protect its borders with glorious offensives. Many of their forces take the defensive as commanders of auxiliary garrisons, as castellans of major fortifications, and as specialist operators of key military infrastructure.
Damn.
They do so against the endless waves of foes which threaten Macragge and its domains. From tyrannid swarms to orc warbands, heretic cults, and endless horrors from beyond.
Truly.
As such, the The 4th Company vehicle pool makes excellent use of mass fire support and heavy armor to pulverize all those who approach their strongholds. Transports and gunships in turn allow these otherwise slow-moving assets to quickly relocate for a dynamic defense.
A lot less mobile,
Thus
perhaps,
has the
but
heartland of the Ultramarines been preserved
doesn't need to be
for hundreds of years. But while the 5th and 4th Companies may cover battlefields near and far, the 3rd Company focuses on a very specific part of the warfighting spectrum, as is evidenced by their name, the Scourge of the Xenos.
Oh, wow.
Led by Captain Mikhail
Mission
Fagan,
goal,
whose
kill
hatred
the
of aliens
Xenos.
has reached notorious levels even by Imperial standards.
Awesome.
Their squads have gained a special reputation for combating the myriad Xenos threats which infest the galaxy. Much of this skill has been honed against the Tyranids dating back to their first brutal conflict with Hive Fleet Behemoth in the First Tyrannic War. As such,
I assume after Behemoth, man, like that must have changed their structure quite a bit. They're like, fuck yeah, we need a company dedicated to just killing these fucking things like over and over again. Like straight up, they need to be the best at just like absolutely wiping off like hordes of Xenos, like any mass threat that we can find or that would come to Ultramar. We need to be able to kill. I imagine, now maybe not, but I imagine that this company definitely saw, the 3rd Company here definitely saw like some reforms after the Tyranids came about.
With Hive Fleet Behemoth in the First Tyrannic War. As such, the 3rd Company has developed a great expertise in short-ranged firefights, which leverage flamer and melter weaponry in order to purge Xenos hives, fortifications, and space hulks. It should be no
also
surprise
just they're a
then
masked
that
enemy.
many members of the 3rd have been recruited into the dedicated anti-Xenos chapter of the Death Watch.
Ooh.
Those who return alive
like
to the Ultramarines are honored with the rank of Tyrannic War Veteran. In terms of vehicles, the 3rd will use a range of craft which have been further specialized to counter a particular alien race. Whether this means more firepower, more armor, or more mobility depends on the situation at hand.
I don't know if armor will ever help you against the Tyranids, to be honest.
Prestigious of the chapter's battle
Obviously not.
Is this?
Obviously, I know it's not specifically for the Tyranids, that company, but against the Tyranids in general, I mean, I feel like armor is a worthless thing to invest in because it's just like they're gonna get in eventually, and if not, it's like fuck, you know, like you're just gonna be swarmed. Maybe they can't get in, but now whatever you're in is just fucking swarmed, enveloped by thousands of Xenos, and maybe they can't get in, but where does that leave you? You know what I mean? Like kind of thing. I feel like definitely firepower, maybe mobility even. But again, the Tyranid are such a mobile force themselves. Like not in space, not in real space, but once they've made like planetfall, like, you know, they have such a varied amount of different shit that they could deploy at you, right? Like is the thing. So it's hard to say. I definitely think that firepower, just raw brunt firepower, would be the way to go against the Tyranids.
The last and most prestigious of the chapter's battle companies is the second
long-range raw brunt firepower.
Within the Ultramarines, these
but obviously
Guardians
close range makes sense
are
too.
Sworn defenders of the holy inner sanctum of their fortress monastery. Led by the legendary Captain Cato Sicarius, their squads have gained an impressive reputation for lightning strikes, meant to win the battle before an enemy has even had the chance to respond. To the uninformed, their risky battlefield heroics may appear suicidal. But to the astute observer, they display a masterful exploitation of a Space Marine's transhuman physiology and advanced war gear to their fullest. Yet in this pursuit
it's all about exploitation
and an unquestionable dedication to the Emperor.
Like that's the thing, like I can definitely respect like assault companies like this that do this type of job, because again, it is all about exploitation. The second you see a crack in the enemy's line, the second you see any type of chink, you know, you gotta go for it fucking immediately. You gotta go for it fast, hard. You gotta exploit that that chink to the greatest advantage that you can, and then you have to obviously create a breakthrough with that, right? The second you create a breakthrough in an enemy front line, you know, which can have troops push through it and around, you've won the battle space like immediately, right? And then any defending force against that has to react accordingly, or they're going to get enveloped completely. It's just like, you know, and like morale effect too, right? The second any troop gets enveloped, gets surrounded, you know, your morale fucking usually tanks depending on what threat you're countering. If you're fighting like a non-compliant world, like a human world, yeah, absolutely, they're probably just going to surrender in droves. Xenos, maybe not, you know, but I can definitely respect the second here. Good shit.
In this pursuit of this perfection in combat and an unquestionable dedication to the Emperor, their bravado has, on multiple occasions, crossed the line into perceived recklessness, and thus drawn censure from chapter command.
Pussies. They don't understand.
The second company match their preferred tactics, with an emphasis on mobility and hard-hitting firepower. In such matters, the Thunderhawk makes for an excellent armed transport ship, capable of
those things are beautiful, man.
Submarines and heavy payloads such.
I will say too, I would love to get my hands on one of these Stormhawks, like any of these flying vehicles in miniature format. They just look so fucking cool, man. I have to say, I love the look of them.
Or dreadnoughts into the heat of the battle. Now, finally, having spent many decades, if not centuries, honing their skills across countless battlefields and distinguishing themselves before their fellow battle brothers, it will be a Marine's ultimate honor to join the vaunted ranks of the First Company. Here, each man stands as a legend in his own right, with a service history easily mistaken for that of an entire unit.
Wow.
Among the Ultramarines,
these are your bad boys.
The Warriors of Ultramar, led by First Captain Severus Agman.
Severus.
Their composition is made up entirely of veteran squads.
These are the fuckers that have aura, as it were. You know what I'm saying? Like each one of these, the fellows in First Company could easily probably be like considered like a hero class, I imagine. You know what I mean? Like a hero class of character could easily probably have their own story about them with how veteranized they are.
Severus Agman. Their composition is made up
again. You're talking 100 years
squads.
Potentially of service at this point. Damn,
the rest
and survival.
Of the squads. These troops
is the important
are not limited to specific gear sets.
Okay.
Rather, they are granted access to the entirety of a chapter's armory.
You've proven yourself. Take what you want.
And relic war gear.
Yeah, see, relics.
Each Marine thus customizes his loadout as he sees fit,
Pog.
resulting in an incredible flexibility of these veteran squads. Nonetheless, we may still group such troops into three broad types. The first of these are the Stern Guard veteran squads. Composed of 9 Marines and a sergeant, these are warriors who tend to favor ranged combat. As such, they are generally equipped with the portable bolt gun, whose performance has been significantly upgraded with
And I'm assuming, I could just be wrong here, but is like the white helmet here, like the white, and obviously for the sergeant too, like the white, I don't know what you'd call that, like hawk, I guess. Is that signifying of First Company? Is that like how you would know that they are First Company? Because they do look obviously a little bit different with the extra bits of white on them there. And I'm guessing you'd obviously be able to see like on their shoulder plates and shit as well, right? What company they're part of.
Portable bolt gun.
The white helmets look very nice, though.
Has been significantly upgraded with superior optics and loaded with special issue ammunition, such as the unstable Flux Core Vengeance rounds.
Flux Core Vengeance rounds.
Most heavily armored of targets.
Holy fuck. That's a name for an
Stern
ammo,
Guard
bro.
Veterans also favor various master-crafted combi weapons, which merge the best characteristics of more standard issue weapons. In contrast, Vanguard veterans are masters of close quarters combat.
They all got the claws, nice.
To battle wearing jump packs.
Cool looking shield too,
Their
wow.
Up to 10-man squads may use the bolt pistol and chainsword pairing, favored by their assault squad brethren. However, these veterans often leverage even more deadly power weapons, such as lightning claws, thunder hammers, and relic blades.
Right.
For defense, many will also equip storm shields, capable of withstanding the most brutal of melee and ranged attacks, up to and including direct artillery hits.
Really?
With such survivability.
Now I have a question. these shields, let's say against like Necrons, because I know Necron weaponry is fucking insane, right? Would they stand up against like Necron weaponry, for example, like these shields? I'd have to assume not, unless it's like a relic. Perhaps I don't know the full extent of it, but obviously against conventional munitions, yeah, they probably fucking eat everything you could throw at them. Probably. I just wonder against like some of the more advanced like Xenos weaponry, just how well this armor does. You know what I'm saying? These shields do. Somebody let me know.
And including direct artillery hits. With such survivability and killing power, there is virtually no stopping such Marines once they have reached your ranks.
Right. It's over once they hit you.
The veteran squad is the Terminator squad. Its up to 10 squad members are those who have been granted the honor of wearing tactical dreadnought armor.
Tactical dreadnought armor?
For the men
Nice.
of the first company. Such marvels
Haven't heard it been
of
called that
Imperial
before. That's cool
technology
though.
Turn the wearer into a walking tank capable of effortlessly bringing to bear some of the heaviest weapons of the chapter's arsenal, including assault cannons, cyclone missile launchers, storm bolters, and heavy flamers. In close quarters, chain fists, lightning claws, and various other power weapons may also be used. The incredible durability of Terminator armor not only makes the wearer invulnerable to most incoming firepower, but also allows them to sustain the pressures of teleportation. Terminators can thus be equipped with personal teleporter packs to execute devastating pinpoint deep strikes. Altogether, this presents a condensed package of unimaginably deadly potential.
Fucking these things can just self-teleport as well. Yeah, that's fucking insane. I imagine that's like extremely hard to compete with if, you know, any threat, you know, or any Xenos, any human, anything that has to fight a fucking Terminator. Like the fact instant teleportation is just insane. That's an insane capability to have.
Together, this presents a condensed package of unimaginably deadly potential. The first company's vehicle pool is also fittingly unique. While all vessels are in theory available to the veteran company, they are granted near monopoly on the use of land raiders. These super heavy infantry fighting vehicles are capable of transporting large squads of Marines and Terminators while unleashing torrents of firepower from its side-mounted twin-linked las cannons.
I will say that does make a lot of sense too, that you would give like your best troops as much access to APC capabilities as you can, because obviously it doesn't do them any good if they're dying just running across an open field. You know what I'm saying? You want to get them protected to their point of deployment. And then once they're deployed, obviously they can do their things, and they probably do their things very fucking well if they're in first company. But it doesn't do them any well to die on the way there. So definitely makes sense.
Unleashing torrents of firepower from its side-mounted twin-linked las cannons and hull-mounted twin-linked heavy bolters.
These things look awesome too. I love like the World War I like
taken together.
Mark V aesthetic of them.
Is a wonder to behold, especially when fighting side by side with the rest of its chapter. Having thus covered the different companies and squad types of a Space Marine chapter, let us now finally turn to how its leadership is structured. Traditionally, a Codex-compliant chapter is led by a chapter master, chosen from the ranks of the company captains. He is protected by an elite honor guard and advised by a council of senior officers and confidants. The current Ultramarines chapter master is Marnius Calgar, whose distinguished service has made him one of the most respected Hastatis in the Imperium.
We've heard a little bit about Calgar before.
Beneath the chapter master, high command is further divided into 4 categories: the Apothecarian, the Librarius, the Reclusium, the chapter armory, and the Master of the Fleet. Let us now examine each of these in order. The Apothecarian is chiefly responsible for preserving a chapter's vital stocks of gene seed, ensuring the creation of future Space Marines.
Very important job, honestly.
Meanwhile, also act as medical experts for the Hastatis. The current Ultramarines chief apothecary is Corpus Helix, a distinguished warrior and medicus known for his supreme patience and attention to detail.
Both good things you
The
need.
Librarius
if you're going to be a
upholds the
doctor.
chapter's repository of knowledge and is where its battle psychers, thus known as librarians, are trained. The Ultramarines' chief librarian is Varro Tigurius, who has gained high renown for both his impressive psychic abilities and deep wisdom. The Reclusium is the center of the chapter's cult and spiritual well-being, whose chaplains serve as battle priests that inspire the men with words and actions. The High Chaplain of the Ultramarines is Ortan Cassius, who is famed for his efforts in combating the Tyranids and founding the Society of Tyrannic War Veterans.
Wow.
The chapter armory is responsible for the maintenance of a chapter's military equipment. It is here that heavy armor, war suits, and vehicles reside, which will be diligently cared for by skilled tech marines who have been inducted into the cult Mechanicus.
Gross.
The current master of the Forge of the Ultramarines.
Not tech marines, the Mechanicus, man. I don't know. I don't know if I can ever support the Mechanicus, man. Just the shit that they do, they're slimy, you know what I mean? I don't know. Personal opinion, I suppose.
Into the cult Mechanicus. The current master of the Forge of the Ultramarines is Fenius Maxim, known for his unceasing efforts in the Tyrannic Wars, and whose expertise in Hastati's weapons and technology has made his name synonymous with the chapter armory. And finally, there is the Master of the Fleet in charge of the chapter's space assets. This admiral
Balls
will
on this
typically
guy must be
one of the
huge.
chapter's captains, who has been selected by the chapter master to command the flagship and lead the fleet. Uriel Ventress holds this honor for the Ultramarines, bearing the title of Master of the Fleet. Last, but certainly not least, a chapter is supported by the unseen ranks of its mortal servants, who tend to the everyday needs of operating and maintaining a Space Marine force. These include the chapter's hereditary slaves,
Millions.
bonded serfs, servitors, astropaths, navigators, and more. However, ascertaining the number of such non-combatants is unfortunately quite difficult given their non-standardized nature.
Yeah.
Roughly speaking, a typical Codex-compliant chapter like the Ultramarines may, on average, rely upon several thousand non-Hastatis support personnel. If the crew of the chapter's fleet is included, the number can easily rise to the tens of thousands.
Probably
Once we
more.
then account for the wider network of auxiliary forces and other support personnel, our accounting must reach into the hundreds of thousands. But for now, this is where we shall end our review of a typical Codex-compliant Space Marine chapter of the 41st millennium. I hope you found this video both educational and entertaining.
Very.
You can download all of our art, catch script previews, and participate in polls by joining our Patreon or YouTube membership. A huge thanks to our current members for supporting the channel, and a big shout out to the researchers, writers, and artists for making this episode possible. We couldn't have done it without this team and this community.
Wow.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and check out these other related episodes. See you in the next one.
Wow, guys. That was Invicta's The True Size of a Space Marine Chapter, Part 2, 3D documentary. I thought that was fantastic. I'm going to leave a like on that video right now. Very, very interesting to see, like, the whole of a chapter laid out visually like that. You know, I don't think we've ever seen a video that does that before. So, wow, this was fantastic. Very, very good opportunity taken by Invicta to, like, show, like, the true size, you know what I'm saying? Like, use that for their series. I thought that was a great video. I thought that was very educational. Laid it out very, very coherently, and again, described exactly what each company does, what they're good at, and who's in charge of what. I mean, fuck, I really couldn't ask for a better video there. So yeah, go show Invicta some love. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course leave your recommendations down in the comments below. Big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati and our Principes, Dagenhart, Fear, and Hobbit. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And yeah, come on down, join our Discord if you're not a part of that, guys. Gotta plug that. Join our Discord. It's awesome to see you guys there, and I appreciate it. So yeah, without any further delay, guys, this has been Centurion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.